Super 8 is the new sci-fi thriller from J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg about a group of preteen filmmakers in small-town Ohio in 1979.
And action!
While filming a Super 8 movie, they witness a catastrophic train crash which releases a powerful creature that immediately starts wreaking havoc on their town and their lives. As the military moves in to run damage control, the kids, with the help of the local deputy, attempt to unravel the mystery of what is happening to them. Super 8 pays homage to classic sci-fi and coming-of-age movies while focusing its lens on the meaning of young friendships. Who watched Lost?
I did. I watched it
every
until
episode.
Charlie died, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
Wow.
Charlie dies? What? No.
I've seen every single episode.
Same.
Oh my
That
God!
is-
And
I watched the rest.
did you ever
It
get to
was-
see the monster? Did you?
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
it was just all pointless. What the end, the stupid ending
Pointless.
of this stupid
It
show.
wasn't pointless.
Pointless.
I never got caught up in Lost, but it sounds like there's some disagreement about how fulfilling a
Yeah,
show
exactly.
Lost after being dragged
Unfulfilling.
along all of those seasons.
Forever.
How many seasons? 4 seasons. This is
felt like forever.
this sounds like it could be a great way to get us into talking about today's movie, which is Super 8 by J.J. Abrams. Brian, why don't you start with telling us what this movie is about?
Sure, well, it takes place in the summer of 1979 in the fictional town of Lillian, Ohio. And it's a bunch of middle schoolers making a zombie movie when they witness a train wreck.
Oh my God! Run!
Oh my God! A mysterious creature escapes from it. So the military takes over their town, and the kids are kind of stuck in the middle of it.
You wanted to add
Yeah,
to that?
I thought the story was really interesting, and it starts out very personal. It starts out with Joe and the hardship that he's going through, and it really sort of builds from there, all of his friends and all of his connections. I really found myself gravitating towards these characters. I felt myself liking these characters. The creature wreaking havoc on the town felt as a sort of a secondary note.
You know, I think the script's got its problems, and there are definitely some weaknesses there, but I saw this as a big homage to Steven Spielberg movies. You know, J.J. Abrams is a huge fan. It's a huge influence on his career, always has been. In this movie, you could detect so many references to movies like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., even as recent as, War of the Worlds. There was Jaws in there, too. It's basically a love affair with movie making.
Yes, there is quite a bit of Spielberg homage to this, but quoting Close Encounters and E.T., you're not going back far enough, because the real origin of this movie is really, it lies in those great 1950s B monster movies that are considered teenage monster movies. And that's where the teenagers are the main characters. The kind of the banner movie for that is The Blob, the Steve McQueen movie, where the kids kind of find this monster and the adults are too busy with their adult problems to do anything about it, and the kids have to save the day. That's really what's going on. This is just following that template, and it kind of elevates that by taking some pages from the Spielberg book. Although E.T. is commonly name-checked in reference to this movie, really it's closer in sentimentality to Stand By Me.
Does it hold up? Does it sustain its interests and what's compelling about it with these two kind of tensions going on between it?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Period. No, it doesn't. Sorry, Dennis, but it doesn't. It's like what Tyler said. It's like he created this kind of movie around these children, and the creature was just kind of an afterthought.
Well, it has to start as a mystery. That's what it's got to start as a mystery where the kids are more clued in than anybody else, and no one that kind of listens to them. That's part of these things.
And it did. They did that.
And then little by little, then little by little, people start disappearing. Mysterious things happen.
All the
and
dogs run
eventually-
away.
And eventually, one of their group, we won't give it away, but one of their group is in peril. So
I felt like there were a lot of threads. There was the Super 8 shooting of the movie. There were the interpersonal relationships. A lot of different threads that didn't play a role in the way it resolved at the end of the movie.
I strongly disagree.
We've got some disagreement here, and that's
I
okay.
gotta say, but there's one thing I gotta say here is that moment when he has the face-off with the creature, it ties directly to the first shot of the movie, where he says, "Bad things just happen," and that gives him and the monster complete, that makes them simpatico, and that ties them together perfectly.
J.J. Abrams is basically saying, I want you to care about these characters, and yeah, there's a monster there, and yeah, maybe it's not as threatening as some of us would like it to be, but it's endearing and it's heartfelt.
I thought the characters were fascinating. I thought they were really great. They had really great relationships. Joel, Courtney, and and Elle Fanning had great chemistry together. They're kind of the romantic duo in the film. They were great.
The people that are going to go see this movie are going to be confused. They're going to be looking for all of this action and explosions, and they're going to come out confused because I didn't understand what the point of it was.
What about some of these adult performances in the film?
You know, I think Kyle Chandler, who is so great in Friday Night Lights, is so underutilized in this movie. I'm not going to blame him. I think the role is underwritten, and I don't think he's in as many scenes as he needs to be. You know, there's this emotionally, well, it's supposed to be emotionally involving storyline between father and son. And I think we really feel it with the kid, but we don't so much feel it with him. So, you know, when
he tries to ship him off for 6 weeks.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk in the beginning, you know? He just kind of like writes him off. He's like, you know, this is going to be good for both of us. You know?
You're like, you're
really,
just
Dad?
trying to party. Your mom,
and by the end, we're supposed to, you know, have like some sort of, you know, closure with it. But, you know, I don't think we ever really do because we never really feel, you know, what he's feeling.
I went into the movie very skeptical because I did not like J.J. Abrams' work on Star Trek.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm sorry. I
love that Star Trek.
I didn't like what he did with Star Trek. So I really was skeptical, and he really proved himself from the very first shot, which is
It was a beautifully shot movie.
very stunning in its simplicity. And I think J.J. Abrams did what he set out to do, which is make a monster movie, but elevate it from that Steve McQueen blob level up to a more Spielbergian level.
Okay, if you're going off of that, then yeah, he hit it on the head.
Gee. I'm not sure we have a consensus here. I'm wondering if we should take it to a vote. Grab your Super 8 tickets. Brian, why don't we start with you?
Well, I thought, you know, this was a lovely tribute to Steven Spielberg. So I say see it.
I don't think he's as good as Spielberg. I think he has the potential to be, but this movie is not the movie that's gonna seal his place as the next Spielberg. So I say stream it.
I think if you're middle school age, the same age as the characters, you'll like this movie. If you're old enough to have remembered being middle school age in the 70s and the early 80s, you'll like this movie. If you like monster movies, you'll like this movie. So I say see it.
Okay.
The story kind of let me down in some places towards the end. There were a lot of threads that weren't tied together, but the characters were so strong and there was such great chemistry. So I didn't have any too serious qualms with it. I say see it.
Great.
Wow. Well, we have 3.5 tickets, so that is a see it for Super 8.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
See this movie, you'll like it. You'll have fun.
Stop
It's a
listening to
monster
Dennis.
movie.
Don't listen to him.